Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anonymous Sports Talk, and today we're going to be reviewing the Champions League final between Real Madrid, who are now 14-time winners, and Liverpool, after Real Madrid beat Liverpool 1-0 in the final in Paris, and what was a fantastic performance by Real Madrid in terms of how they executed and how they ultimately won the game. If you'd see my prediction before in the video I did earlier, I said Madrid would win 2-1, but I was leaning more towards Madrid to win by a 1-goal margin. And ultimately, my prediction was right. They did win by a 1-goal margin, courtesy of the goal by VINICIUS JR, who, by player who has been criticized for not stepping up in the biggest of moments. Today, VINICIUS JR, he stepped up and he showed what he can do, ultimately getting a winning goal in a Champions League final. His name will go down in history in Real Madrid and in European competitions in general. In terms of his game, he was having a bit of an on and off game because he was getting success getting in behind Alexander-Arnold. But every time he came up against Konate did a brilliant job defending against him. Whether that was 1v1, strength, pure pace, he did a brilliant job. But ultimately, Vinicius walks away with the winning goal. Vinicius walks away with the title. So he was one of the key players for Madrid in this game, and he stepped up and he got a big goal for them in a big moment when they needed the most. And another player who was key for Madrid today was KARIM BENZEMA. Again, his performance wasn't one of those performances where he's gone and scored a ton of goals or anything like that. It's just what the little things he was doing in terms of his hold-up play. The fact that he gave all his teammates around him so much trust to play the ball into him, and the ball would stick, and he would hold the ball up, and he would win a foul, or just keep the ball, keep it moving. I think he proved in this Champions League final that he's arguably the best hold-up play centre-forward in the world, if not just the best centre-forward full stop. And this man definitely deserves a Ballon d'Or. He's had a phenomenal season, and his performance today, as much as he didn't get his goal, I think, wrongfully ruled out for offside. You have to give him credit for his performance. It was absolutely brilliant from Benzema. And the guys behind him, I mean, the trio that's going to go down in the history books without doubt. That's CASEMIRO, KROOS, and MODRIC. Again, the game they played in midfield was fantastic. They're never going to be the quickest of players because, again, they are aging. They're not as young as they once were. But what they lack in terms of actual pure pace, they make up for it in terms of their quickness mentally, the decisions they make, the movement they have, they keep the ball, the passing. I mean, just absolutely fantastic in the middle. Casemiro winning the ball back is one of his better games in a long time for Madrid, and he was crucial in terms of making big tackles in big moments. Kroos just kept things going, kept things sticking. When Liverpool were applying pressure, he would always make himself an option. And in terms of playing up from the back, he was fantastic. And then Modric, on the other hand, I mean, again, another brilliant performance from him. This Champions League run that Madrid have had, beating Man City, PSG, Chelsea, Modric has been very integral to that. And it was his pass that literally took 3 Liverpool players out of the game. In Robertson, Thiago, and Luis Diaz played into Casemiro, while he ultimately played into Valverde, who assisted the ball for Vinicius Jr. So literally Modric, he was very integral and very key. And again, I keep saying it, but it was a brilliant performance by Luka Modric. Now, another Madrid player who had a fantastic game was Dani Carvajal, someone who many thought was going to struggle, especially after what Kylian Mbappe did to him in the earlier rounds in the round of 16. Coming up against Luis Diaz and possibly Mane, many thought he would struggle against the pace of the Liverpool wingers. But he was, again, he played really well. He was focused, made key tackles. Going forward, he would provide support whenever he could. And ultimately, it made up for a really good game. And Luis Diaz had to be taken off because he wasn't finding anything against Carvajal. So Carvajal was rolling back the years with another big game performance in a big game, showing why he's, I think, a really top fullback, a top right back. And where many have struggled against Diaz, he showed up. Now, one of the reasons why he actually had success against Diaz was the guy ahead of him, Valverde, arguably one of the most, I think, underrated players in terms of his actual talent and ability, because many people focus on what he does off the ball, that yes, he runs a lot, he doesn't get tired, he sacrifices for his team, sacrifices for his teammates, but in terms of on the ball, he's very talented, Valverde, and he showed that today, getting forward, ultimately assisting the Vinicius goal. And even other than that, in the same way Benzema holds up the ball really well, Valverde does brilliantly when the ball is played into him. He keeps it, he gets team moving forward, he makes big passes, he wins big fouls for Madrid. And again, someone who had another great game. He didn't the full 90, but brilliant performance. And speaking of brilliant performance, without doubt, the man of the match for this game, someone who produced one of the performances of finals we've seen in the Champions League, and that was the big man at the back, Thibaut Courtois. You know, he's one of those keepers, Courtois, who, in terms of how he's viewed, I think people sometimes see him as a top keeper, but for some reason don't put him up there with the likes of Alisson and Ederson. one big critique that guys have heard of Courtois is playing up from the back, how good he is with the ball at feet. But I think that's an element of his game he's really improved in the years gone by since he left Chelsea. And for someone who was successful at Atletico Madrid winning La Liga, successful at Chelsea winning the Premier League, and now with Real Madrid winning the Champions League and the La Liga title, he's proving to be one of the best keepers of his generation. And some of the saves he made last night were just ridiculous. I mean, the one at the very beginning, Sadio Mane, I think the most important save considering how early it was, tipping enough off the post and then getting up to react quickly and save it again. There was the one from Mo Salah where he, with his right hand, tips it over the bar. He had a fantastic performance, Thibaut Courtois, in a big game. Again, another big game player who showed up and ultimately, we could say, won this game for Real Madrid against a Liverpool side who, I mean, speaking of Liverpool, they'll obviously be very disappointed with the result. The performance, I think there's a lot to be taken. There's a silver lining to the cloud of losing. And that silver lining was the performance was actually really good in the first half. They penned Real Madrid back, but it seemed as though they started to lose a bit of energy. They started to lose a bit of their legs, looking a bit tired towards the end in the second half. But even then, you could give them credit for the fact that they dug deep and they kept going, they kept pushing. But they were just met with Courtois, who was in the form of his life. So as disappointing as it is for Liverpool, all in all, it hasn't been the worst of season. They played every game they could play this season, losing the league by 1 point, losing the Champions League final by 1 goal, winning the FA Cup, winning the Carabao Cup. They've had you could say they've had a good season. But I mean, years from now, I guess people will say they only won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But still, you have to give them credit for the amount of effort it takes. They've had a good season, and look, moving forward, see, they have to sort out the contract issues of Mane and Salah, and will they stay, will they leave? But in terms of what they have, they'll be back again, like Klopp said. Next season, they'll definitely be back again at this stage, looking to, not, I won't say revenge, but right the wrong of losing, in the same way they did some years back when they lost against Real Madrid in the final, and they bounced back winning the next final against Spurs. When they lost the league to Man City, they bounced back and won the league the next season. So from Liverpool's point of view, as disappointing as it is, they can keep their heads held high that they did put in as good a performance as they can. But at the end of the day, Real Madrid did win. And congratulations to Real Madrid, and obviously the man who leads the whole of Madrid right now, and that's the Don Carlo Ancelotti, who now becomes the person who's won the most European titles with 4 titles as a coach. Obviously, he won it before as a player, so this one who just knows success everywhere has been, and what he's done this season after the disappointment of Everton, to go to Real Madrid and to get them back to the top domestically and in Europe as well, winning La Liga, winning the Champions League. He's done all he can and then some to win the double in your first season back. You have to give him credit. And you look at the run Madrid have had, like I mentioned before, PSG in the round of 16, Chelsea in the quarterfinal, Man City in the semi-final, Liverpool in the final. I mean, what more can you say? Inter Milan in the group stage. They've had as difficult a run as probably anyone has ever had, and they've still come out on top. And Madrid, congratulations to Madrid, the champions of Europe, the best team in Europe, ultimately producing, I mean, surprising everyone. And people are counting them out and saying they can't win, they can't get over the line. Carlo Ancelotti led this team to the top of the mountain, and congratulations to them. Fantastic season, and they look back and it will go down in the history books. 14 title, winning La Liga, winning the double. I mean, credit to them, all the credit to them, for as good a season as anyone could ever have hoped for. So those are my thoughts about this Champions League final. Real Madrid coming out on top. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What should be added? What do you disagree or agree with? If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up. Turn on your notifications for more videos coming up, and please subscribe. Thank you very much.